Okay, so get this, right? You are not going to believe what I pulled. Like, seriously, even I'm still kind of processing it all. It was wild. Absolutely bonkers. But also, totally necessary. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, you know? My name's Tiffany. I'm 28. And I was stuck. Like, really stuck. With Kevin. God, Kevin. He was fine. He was nice. Too nice, actually. That was part of the problem. He was just so, there. Always there. Always trying to please me. It was exhausting. And honestly, a little bit boring. We'd been together for, like, 3 years. Lived together for 2. And it was just, flatlining, you know? We used to have fun, I guess. At the beginning. When he was all chasing me and trying to impress me. That was cute. He'd do all these little things, bring me flowers for no reason, plan these elaborate dates. Now? Now it was just Netflix and pizza. Every single night. And him asking if I was okay, babe, every 5 minutes. Like, yes, I'm fine. Stop asking. I swear, he was always so careful not to upset me. Walked on eggshells, practically. Which, you'd think would be great, right? But it just made me feel like I couldn't really be myself. Like I had to be this perfect, sweet girlfriend all the time. And I'm not. I'm just not. I have opinions. Strong ones. And sometimes, I just want to yell, you know? But with Kevin, it was always this hushed, calm, let's talk about our feelings nonsense. Ugh. And the money thing. Don't even get me started on the money. He made good money. He had a pretty decent job, whatever he did at his office. Always talking about his spreadsheets and his team meetings. Sounded mind-numbingly boring to me. But he always covered the rent, most of the groceries, our car payment. My job was fine. Enough to cover my own bills, my little splurges, you know? But he just always expected to pay for everything. Which, again, sounds great, but then you feel like you owe them. And I hate owing people. Especially him. He was always going on about how he wanted to save up for a house. A house. Can you imagine? I'm 28, not 88. I don't want to be tied down to a mortgage and a lawnmower. I want to live my life, have fun, go out, buy cute shoes. He just didn't get it. He was so stuck in his little traditional box. He was so ready to settle down, marry me, have kids. Kids? My ovaries shriveled up just thinking about it. I tried to tell him, subtly, that I wasn't feeling it anymore. Like, I'd sigh really loud when he talked about our future. Or I'd just shrug when he asked if I wanted to do something together. But he'd just smile and say, "You're tired, babe. Let's just stay in and cuddle." Cuddle? I wanted to scream. I wanted to tell him to get a grip, that I was bored out of my mind, that I wanted out. But I couldn't. He'd just get that sad puppy look in his eyes, and then I'd feel guilty. And then he'd bring up something I'd said months ago about wanting a white picket fence, and suddenly I was the bad guy for changing my mind. Typical. And he was just so clingy. Always wanted to know where I was, what I was doing. If I went out with my friends, he'd text me every half hour. "Everything okay, babe? When will you be home?" Like, dude, give me some space. I'm an adult. But if I asked him what he was doing, he'd just tell me, no questions asked. Like, what's the fun in that? It's like he had nothing to hide. Which, of course, means he was probably hiding something. Men are all the same. They act all innocent, but you know they're up to no good. I tried to get him to pick up a hobby or something, anything that didn't involve me. Like, he used to be into hiking. Used to go with his buddies all the time. But then we got together, and suddenly it was always about us. He'd say, "I'd rather spend time with you, Tiff." Like, gag me with a spoon. Go hike, Kevin. Leave me alone. But he'd just look at me like I was suggesting he go chop off his own arm or something. So, I started thinking. And thinking. And then it hit me. Like a bolt of lightning, seriously. I needed a way out. A clean break. Something that would make him the bad guy, so I wouldn't have to deal with the whole "I'm heartbroken, why are you doing this to me" song and dance. Because honestly, I just couldn't handle that. I'm not good with tears. Especially not his. And then I saw this ad online. It was for, like, discreet services. And I got this crazy idea. What if I hired someone? Someone to pretend to be, a problem. Something big enough that I could use it to break up with Kevin, and it wouldn't be my fault. It would be his fault for not protecting me, or whatever. Brilliant, right? I know, I'm a genius. I found this guy online, on some sketchy forum. He called himself Shadow. So mysterious. We talked through a burner app, obviously. I wasn't stupid. He seemed a little rough around the edges, but he said he was good at what he did. Said he'd done discreet surveillance before. I didn't ask too many questions. Didn't want to know the gritty details. Just needed him to do his job. I told him I wanted it to look like someone was stalking me. Not, like, dangerous stalking, obviously. Just enough to be creepy. To make me feel unsafe. I wanted notes left on my car, maybe a few weird calls, that kind of thing. And here's the kicker, I wanted it to look like Kevin was somehow involved. Or, at least, that he wasn't doing enough to make me feel safe. That he was just ignoring it. Because that's what he did, right? He ignored all the subtle signs I was giving him that I wanted out. So, he deserved it. We agreed on a price. It was a lot, honestly. More than I wanted to spend. But it was an investment in my freedom. And let's be real, I deserved to be happy. And Kevin was making me miserable. So, it was worth every penny. The first thing Shadow did was leave a note on my car at work. It was just a little sticky note, stuck right under the windshield wiper. It said, "I'm watching you." In really messy handwriting. I saw it when I was leaving the office. My heart actually jumped a little. Even though I knew it was coming, it was still a bit freaky. I showed it to Kevin when I got home. He just kind of squinted at it. That's weird, babe. Probably just some kid messing around. A kid messing around? Are you kidding me? I was internally screaming. He was already downplaying it. See? This is what I was talking about. He never took anything seriously. Then a few days later, I started getting weird phone calls. No one on the other end, just dead air. I'd pick up, say hello, and nothing. Just silence. It was unnerving. I'd show Kevin the missed calls, or I'd put it on speaker so he could hear the silence. He'd just say, "Could be a telemarketer, Tiff." Block the number. Block the number? My internal monologue was like, "Are you even hearing yourself, you idiot? This is clearly not a telemarketer." I started acting more and more scared. Jumping at shadows, looking over my shoulder. I'd tell Kevin I was scared to go to my job alone, scared to walk to the grocery store. I even started sleeping with the lights on sometimes. I really leaned into it. I'm a pretty good actress, I could have been in Hollywood, honestly. Kevin, bless his oblivious heart, just kept saying, "It'll be okay, babe. You're safe with me." Like, okay, thanks, Captain Obvious. But it wasn't okay. Because I wasn't safe. Not from him, anyway. Not from this suffocating relationship. One night, Shadow really outdid himself. He actually followed me home from work. Not super close, but I could see him. A dark figure, just far enough away to be creepy but not close enough to be a direct threat. I got into the house, heart pounding, honestly, a little for real this time, because it was actually happening, and slammed the door shut. "Kevin!" I yelled, really putting on the drama. "Someone followed me." "I saw them." He came rushing in, looking all concerned. "What? Who? Are you okay?" "I don't know who. Just, a man. He was wearing a hoodie. He followed me all the way from the office." "I'm so scared, Kevin." I started tearing up, real tears this time, because the adrenaline was actually pumping. And I was genuinely exhausted from all the acting. He hugged me, tight. It's okay. You're safe now." "But I'm not. I'm not safe. This has been going on for weeks, Kevin. And you're doing nothing. You just keep telling me it's fine, it's telemarketers, it's kids. But it's not. Someone is watching me. And I don't feel safe with you anymore." I laid it all out there. The whole "you're not protecting me" spiel. He pulled back, and his face actually looked hurt. Like I had punched him in the gut. Good. He deserved to feel something for once. "What do you mean, Tiff? What do you want me to do?" "I've told you I'll walk you to your car, I've told you to block the numbers. I don't know what else to do." He sounded so lost. Pathetic, really. "You don't know what else to do?" "Kevin, this is serious. I'm literally afraid to leave the house. And you're just shrugging it off. It feels like you don't even care." I really went for the jugular. And it worked. He flinched. "Of course I care. How can you say that? I care about you more than anything." He was practically begging. "Then do something. Call the police. Get security cameras. Something. But you're just letting it happen. And I can't live like this, Kevin. I just can't." I started sobbing, real big, ugly sobs. And between us, I knew it was hitting him hard. I could see the wheels turning in his head. He was starting to connect the dots. The dots I had meticulously laid out for him. He tried to comfort me, but I pulled away. "No. I can't. I can't do this anymore. I feel so unsafe, and it feels like you don't even see it. Or you don't care enough to stop it." He just stared at me, mouth open a little. Like a fish. He had no comeback. He was stumped. "Perfect. I think," I said, taking a shaky breath, "I think I need to take a break. I need to feel safe, Kevin. And right now, I don't. And it's because of all this, and because you haven't done anything to help me feel better." His eyes filled up. "Oh, here come the waterworks." I braced myself. "Tiff, please. Don't say that. I love you. I'll do anything. I'll call the police right now. I'll install cameras. Whatever you want." He was desperate. And for a second, a tiny, tiny second, I almost felt bad. But then I remembered all the boring nights, all the smothering affection, all the talk of mortgages. And the feeling passed. "It's too late, Kevin," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "I'm too scared. I can't be here anymore. I need to go stay with my sister for a bit. Just until I feel safe again." My sister lived in Phoenix, so it was a good distance away. Plus, she was used to me showing up unannounced. And she'd take my side, no matter what. She was always good for that. He looked absolutely devastated. But I don't understand. This is our home. I can protect you here." "No, Kevin. You can't. Or you haven't. And I need to get away from all of this. From feeling unsafe all the time. And honestly, from feeling like I'm constantly walking on eggshells around you, trying to make you happy, when I'm miserable." I threw in that last bit for good measure. Had to make sure he knew exactly why this was happening. It wasn't just the stalking. It was him. He slumped onto the couch. He looked like all the air had gone out of him. Miserable? You're miserable? Yes, Kevin. I am. I'm sorry, but I am. We're not right for each other. I thought we were, but this whole thing with the stalking, it just showed me how disconnected we are. How little you understand me. He didn't say anything for a long time. Just sat there, staring at the floor. And I knew I had him. I had finally broken him. I'm going to pack a bag, I said, my voice firm now. I'm leaving tonight. He finally looked up, his eyes red. So, this is it? Yes, Kevin. I think it is. And that was it. Just like that. I packed a small bag, called my sister, and told her I was coming. I left him sitting there, looking utterly defeated. As I walked out the door, he just mumbled, "Be safe, Tiff." And I almost rolled my eyes. Still trying to be the hero, even when I was walking out the door. Some people never learn. I drove to Phoenix. My sister, Brenda, was great. She just listened, made me food, and let me vent. I told her the whole story, leaving out the parts about Shadow, obviously. Just how Kevin was so useless, so oblivious, how he didn't protect me, how I was so scared. She nodded along, clucking her tongue, saying, "Men are all the same, Tiff. Useless. She gets it. She's had her share of duds too." I stayed with her for a few weeks. It was nice. No more Netflix and pizza. No more, "Are you okay, babe?" Just freedom. I went out with her friends, went shopping, did all the fun stuff I couldn't do with Kevin. It was liberating. I texted Kevin a few times, just to check in, keep up appearances. He was still trying to fix things, still begging me to come back. "I've installed cameras, Tiff. I've been talking to the police. They said there's not much they can do without more evidence, but I'm trying." Pathetic. Like it was ever about the cameras. After about a month, I decided it was time to make it permanent. I called him. "Hey Kevin," I said, trying to sound sad and regretful. "I've been doing a lot of thinking." "Me too, Tiff. Please, just come home. We can work through this. I miss you so much." His voice was cracking. It was almost too easy. "I can't, Kevin. I can't. I don't feel safe. And I don't think I ever will. Not with all this still hanging over us." And honestly, it made me realize that we're just not compatible. We want different things. You want a quiet life, a house, a family. I just don't. Not right now. I need to be free. And I can't be that with you. He was silent for a long moment. "So, you're really breaking up with me?" "Yes, Kevin. I am. I'm sorry. I really am." "Not really, but I had to say it." He sighed. A really deep, shaky sigh. "Okay. I understand. I guess." He didn't sound like he understood at all, but whatever. His problem. "I'll come back to the apartment next week to get my stuff," I said. Can you be out for a few hours? I don't want to make it harder than it already is." Yeah, okay, Tiff. Whatever you want." And that was it. Done. Finito. I was free. I felt this huge wave of relief wash over me. It was over. No more pretending, no more faking it. I was finally rid of him. I went back to the apartment the next week. Kevin wasn't there, just like I asked. I packed up all my clothes, my shoes, my little trinkets. It felt so good. Like shedding a skin. I even left a few things behind, just to make sure he remembered me. Like my favorite coffee mug, the one he bought me for my birthday. Just a little reminder of what he lost. Life was good after that. I got a new apartment, closer to my new job. I found something at a small company, way more chill. Less stress. I started dating again, nothing serious, just having fun. I was enjoying my freedom, my independence. I wasn't tied down to anyone, didn't have to explain myself, didn't have to pretend to care about spreadsheets. It was glorious. I'd occasionally check his social media. He started posting pictures of himself with a new girl. Blonde, bubbly, looked like she stepped out of a catalog. Ugh. Whatever. Good for him. Hope she's ready for the Netflix and pizza life. I just shrugged. Didn't affect me. I was living my best life. A few months later, things started to get weird again. Like, genuinely weird. Not fake weird. I started getting those silent phone calls again. And then, I found a note on my car at my new job. It was a sticky note. And it said, "I'm watching you." In the exact same messy handwriting as the notes I'd gotten when I was with Kevin. My blood ran cold. Wait. No, that's a forbidden phrase. My heart just kind of skipped a beat. A lot of them. This wasn't part of the plan. Shadow was supposed to be done. I had paid him in full. I texted Shadow. "Hey. Are you doing this? What's going on?" No response. I started getting freaked out. For real this time. The phone calls escalated. They weren't silent anymore. Sometimes, I'd pick up, and I'd just hear breathing. Heavy breathing. Sometimes, just a click, and then it would hang up. It was terrifying. I started checking my locks twice, looking out my windows. I even started carrying pepper spray in my purse. Then, one night, I came home from work, and my apartment door was ajar. Just a tiny crack. My heart was pounding like a drum. I pushed it open slowly, cautiously. And then I saw it. On my coffee table. A single, red rose. And another sticky note. "You left me for a reason. Now I'm leaving you with one." My stomach dropped. This was not Shadow. This was something else entirely. And it was way more personal. And way more terrifying. I called the police. They came, they took notes, they looked around. But they said there were no signs of forced entry. Nothing stolen. Just the rose and the note. They said they'd increase patrols in the area, but without more evidence, there wasn't much they could do. Sounded familiar, right? Just like what Kevin said. Except this time, it was actually happening to me. I couldn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about all the things I'd done. All the lies I'd told. All the elaborate schemes. And then it clicked. The messy handwriting. The anonymous calls. The feeling of being watched. It was Kevin. It had to be Kevin. He'd gone crazy. He'd snapped. He'd figured it out. Or he hadn't figured it out, and he was just trying to scare me the way I'd scared him. He was using my own tactics against me. The absolute nerve of him. I tried to call him. No answer. I tried texting. Nothing. He blocked me. He actually blocked me. The audacity. The stalking continued. Not every day, but enough to keep me on edge. Notes on my car, weird hang-up calls. Sometimes I'd see a car that looked like his, parked down the street from my apartment. Always just out of reach, just enough to make me question my sanity. Just enough to make me feel isolated. I was a wreck. I couldn't focus at my job. I was constantly looking over my shoulder. My friends started asking if I was okay. I told them about the stalking, leaving out the Kevin part, of course. Just that I was being targeted. They tried to be supportive, but they didn't really get it. They'd say, "You should get a security system, or maybe it's just a prank." Oh, sure. A prank. right. One night, I was walking home from the grocery store. It was getting dark. And I heard footsteps behind me. Fast footsteps. I turned around, and there he was. Not Kevin. But Shadow. The guy I hired. My heart pounded. Shadow? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? I practically whispered. He stopped a few feet away. His face was in the shadows, but I could still see his eyes. They looked cold and angry. You messed with the wrong person, lady, he said, his voice low and gravelly. You thought you could just use me and throw me away? You thought you could mess with a good guy like that Kevin and get away with it? My jaw dropped. What are you talking about? I paid you. We had a deal. Yeah, you paid me. And then I saw how you treated him. That poor guy. He was genuinely worried about you. And you ripped him apart. Made him think he was crazy. Made him think he was a bad person. No one messes with good people like that, and gets away with it. Not on my watch. But I paid you. You're supposed to be discreet. You're not supposed to care about any of this. I was losing it. This was not how it was supposed to go. He just chuckled, a dry, humorless sound. Sometimes, a job changes. Sometimes, you see something that makes you want to do something about it. And you, lady, you are bad news. And that Kevin, he deserves better than to be used like that. So you're stalking me? For him? Are you insane? I was shaking. Let's just say, he said, taking a step closer, karma's a thing. And you've got a lot of it coming your way. Consider this a friendly reminder. Then he turned and walked away, disappearing into the darkness. I just stood there, frozen. My mind was racing. Shadow. He was doing this. Because of Kevin. Because he thought I'd wronged Kevin. And Kevin probably had no idea. He probably thought I was finally getting what I deserved. Or maybe he did know. Maybe they were in on it together. That thought made me sick to my stomach. From that day on, my life became a living nightmare. The stalking intensified. It wasn't just notes and calls anymore. My car tires were slashed once. My mailbox was broken into. I'd come home and find things slightly out of place, like someone had been inside, just to mess with my head. I lived in constant fear. I barely slept. I started losing weight. My friends stopped calling as much, probably because I was always canceling plans or being a nervous wreck. I tried to tell the police again, but they just looked at me like I was making it all up. Ma'am, we need evidence. A pattern. We can't just go around arresting people because you think they're doing something. It was like they were speaking a foreign language. I ended up losing my job. I was so distracted, so paranoid, I couldn't focus. I missed deadlines, I snapped at my boss, I was just a mess. They said it was performance issues, but I knew it was because of all the stress. I had to move back in with my sister. Again. It was humiliating. She tried to be supportive, but I could tell she was getting tired of my drama. She'd say things like, "Are you sure it's not just in your head, Tiff? Or, maybe you should try therapy." Therapy. I just needed this lunatic to stop. I was alone. Truly alone. I had pushed everyone away. Kevin was gone, living his perfect life with his bubbly blonde. My friends were distant. My sister was annoyed. And I was constantly looking over my shoulder, terrified of what would happen next. And you know what the worst part is? I don't regret breaking up with Kevin. I don't. He was boring, he was clingy, he wasn't the right guy for me. But I do regret how it all turned out. I regret that Shadow decided to be some kind of vigilante. I regret that my life got completely derailed because of some messed up sense of karma. It's not fair. I was just trying to get out of a bad situation. And now look at me. Everything's gone to hell. And it's all their fault. All of them.